I'm back with my Thoughtful Thursdays, and this is an interesting one. As I've confessed earlier that I watch a lot of content, and I was watching a serial where there was this whole thing about fake pregnancy. I'm not going to talk about that. But when the woman was talking, she actually faked the pregnancy for a reason, because she said that when you're pregnant, there is a special kind of a feeling. You feel almost loved, wanted. And that took me back to all the J&J studies that I had done. And I said, what does a young mother feel when she's pregnant for the first time? And the key operating word is young mothers who are pregnant for the first time. And there is a science that we need to understand before the baby is born, after the baby is born, as the baby grows. And can the brand be part of that journey? Because J&J doesn't talk to the experienced mother, it talks to the young mother who's pregnant for the first time or who has no idea of what to do, right? Is she going to talk to her mother-in-law? Is she going to talk to her friends? She doesn't know what's going to happen. That's when a brand has the greatest impact. And the reason for telling you this is that seldom we forget the first experiences. Have you ever thought what does a person feel when he gets their first salary? Take a minute and think what you might have done when you got your first salary. I at least know what I did. I went and bought a Ray-Ban and I bought a Titan watch. I went and bought Nike Air shoes. But I remember that because that was my first paycheck and the emotion behind that. The same thing happens in your first day. The same thing happens when you buy your first car, your first house. And you take all these things for granted. And the greatest joy for me is understanding your first house versus your second house. Your first child versus your second child. Your first car versus your second car. And as researchers, we don't stop and think like this. We just do a blanket thing. For example, when does a young person start drinking? What is the alcohol that they first try? What was your first experience with it? What is your earliest memories of that? Now you might say, hey Priya, why is she's gone on a nostalgia trip? Why is she reminiscing about that? I'm bringing your focus and attention to this because capturing the feelings and emotions of these specific stages are very, very important. I would encourage everybody to start breaking things down, which are into life stages, into when is the moment that we need to understand. How do we break it up into smaller bits of understanding? And that will hold us in good stead. And I want to give you an example of this. I did a study for Mattel. Again, young mothers with young kids. And if you look at the product window that when Mattel toys, whether it's Fisher Price or you take Thomas and the Engine Train, it's a very small product window where the young mother and the young child are going to experience this, and you want to get it right. You want to understand why this mother is going to pick up this toy and what is the role that toy is going to play in their life. And that's when I realized that when we put a sharp focus attention to these things, we really, really create an impact for the brand. So I urge you to, when you get a brief for a study or when you get an interesting assignment, don't go with the default things that we do. Spend some time, think, and say what is it that I really, really want to study, and what are the aspects that I need to study which will make this assignment very interesting. So if you want to know more and you want to reach out to me, get in touch with us.